So, Mark, people have a lot of questions about flood insurance, and the number one they ask is, do I need it? I don't really want to be paying flood insurance if I don't need it. Do I need it?
So that's a great question. Flood insurance, it's the bane of everyone's existence, right? The real problem, what you need to know is when you're buying a homeowner's insurance policy, it does not cover flood as defined by the National Flood Insurance Program by FEMA. Flood, and making very simple here, is surface level water coming from outside the property affecting more than one property. So that's flood. It's not going to be covered under your homeowner's insurance policy. Everyone has tried to get it covered under their homeowner's insurance policy, and it usually fails. It's a mess. But whether you need flood or not, first of all, in the state of New York, we have, and across the whole country, we have flood zones. So the state is constantly rewriting the flood zones. Post Sandy, everyone who's a long time in New York, who's been here over 13, 14 years in the area, knows what Sandy happened to this area. And Sandy was for all the hurricanes and disasters that have come to the country, Sandy really had a huge effect because the values in New York were so high. It cost like $35.
We're still having the effects. It's been a few years. I'm still seeing the effect. Basically.
It was like $35 billion in damages to the area. And a lot of people that lived in Queens, the South Shore of Long Island, the North Shore of Queens, the North Shore of Long Island, most of those people did not have the appropriate insurance in place, including flood insurance, and the government had to come in and step in and help them out in a lot of ways. And it was incredibly expensive for the community, for society, and it's driven up the need for flood insurance. So a couple facts I'll have you know, a couple things here. Like I said, a homeowner's insurance policy doesn't cover flood insurance. Generally, your mortgage broker or your loan officer, or the bank that you're working with to get your property, is not going to require you to get flood insurance unless you're in a high-risk flood zone. Okay. Now, the thing you have to be aware of is those flood zone maps are being rewritten a lot, constantly. According to the FEMA, which is the federal national organization that manages and underwrites flood insurance across the country, has been writing at a horrible underwriting loss for like the last 30 years since it's been in existence. So what that means is they're very concerned because they don't really have the money to handle a major flood program. So you just have to be aware of that. Here's another fact, a fun-filled fact you should know. Literally almost one third, 32% of all flood losses in America happen in non-designated high-risk flood zones.
I'm glad you brought that up. We had the last couple, but we're in April right now. We had a lot of rain. More rain, from my memory, more rain than we've ever had. And I know prior years, basically, we've had some flooding, basically non-flood zones, basically. And unfortunately, we had a lot of loss of life, a lot of loss of damage to homes and stuff like that. Obviously, the homes we can always rebuild, but we can't, rebuild the lives. But for the insurance portion of you're not in a flood zone and you don't have flood insurance, what do you do then?
Well, there's good news. So you can always get a flood insurance through FEMA. The National Flood Insurance Program will sell to anyone. That's the great news here. There's also now a lot of private flood insurance companies that are out there that sometimes they can be very competitive. I put a lot of new home buyers that are buying on the South Shore and the North Shore and the very south parts of Brooklyn and Queens. I put a lot of them in private flood insurance companies. The price can be a little bit better sometimes. But at least also that not only that, but they get to sleep at night knowing that if something happens, and these things, believe me, they do happen. They do happen, and you don't want to be
accidents for a reason.
Right, yeah. And you don't want to be out of luck. In fact, just last week we had some very heavy nor'easter-like storms. I've got a lot of clients out in the Hamptons area, in Hamptons Bay, and in Suffolk Hamptons, the whole South Fork and the North Fork of Long Island. Those people, I had a lot of clients call me last week, took on a lot of damage, older roofs, water leaked in. They're interested in trying to make claims. Some of them are going to be able to make claims depending on how the damage came in and what it was from. But generally speaking, like I said in the beginning, surface level water coming from outside the property is generally going to be considered a flood. Flood is not covered under your homeowner's insurance policy.
That's good to know. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know that we should definitely be talking to our insurance brokers about. If you're not having a candid conversation with your insurance broker, or you don't remember who your insurance broker is, it might be time to find a new one. Giving you a hint, you should probably call somebody that you trust, that's likable. He's going to ask you a lot of questions to find out, basically gauge what you need and give you the best options that would work for you and your family in that situation. With that being said, how can they reach you if they need to speak to you or have a consultation?
Mark Schneider, my office is in Melville, New York, right on the border of Nassau and Suffolk County, Long Island, but I have client bases all over Suffolk County. I've got clients in Nassau, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, the Bronx, Staten Island, Westchester, and up into Orange and Putnam and all the counties upstate. So if you need to reach me, my phone number is 917-831-4987.
Now, for those people who don't drive, they're on the phone, but they're more face-to-face, do you do Zoom, or is it always face-to-face, or just phone conversations?
You know, most people just want to get me on the phone, which is fine by me. That's just the nature of my business, how it works. They want me, my ideal clients ideally would love me sitting at my desk 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, answer the phone and answer the questions and hopefully solve their problems right then and there, which, of course, I have a family, I can't fully do that, but I'm happy to. I have some older clients, they insist they want to come out and meet me face to face. I have an office here in Melville. You can come see me anytime you want in my office. Happy to do a Zoom call or a call through Teams, FaceTime, whatever you're comfortable with, you can work. I'm very flexible, happy to talk to you, but most people prefer the phone call. Some people just want to email me. I'm responsive to email as well. Some people want to text me, that's fine too.
All right, give them your contact information one more time.
Sure, my phone number, the best way to reach me is at 917-831-4987. Again, it's Mark Schneider with Goosehead Insurance.
And I'm Evan Saint-Gerard. I can't even say my name right now. That's how tired I am. I'm Evan Saint-Gerard with Keller Realty. And my job is always basically make sure my sellers are happy, my buyers are happy, and if I'm working with investors, and make sure they're happy. How do I do that? Make sure I can save them money by meeting professionals such as Mark right here, and get them the information that they need that can help save them some money. So hope you learned something, you were entertained, and the more important thing is that you learn something and maybe pique your curiosity and, hey, I need to call this guy and definitely talk about my policy, update my policy, and whatever the case may be. With that being said, if you have any comments, put them down below. If you have any questions, put them down below. Whatever it is, basically let us know basically where your mind is, what you're thinking, and basically if you have any topics you would like us to discuss in the future, put them down below. With that being said, we hope you have a great day, and that's pretty much it.
Good luck, everybody.